Welcome back. A Charlotte businesswoman says what she thought would be the best time of her life, finally realizing a decades-long dream of opening her own company, ended up being the most expensive lesson of her life, leaving her asking, where's the money?
She says a contractor took $40,000 and $40,000 in work she says she did not get. When we brought her story to the experts, they say there were red flags aplenty, and we can all learn from this.
Hiking buddy.
Amanda Hebblethwaite is getting some playtime in with her foster pup, Bobby Brown. He's one of several doggy guests at Planet Pup, which opened its doors early last month at long last.
It took me literally the whole 40 years of my life.
But the business owner says her lifelong dreams of an animal care company were nearly dashed.
It hit us hard. We got to a point where we didn't even know if we wanted to continue.
Hebblethwaite says months back she was looking for a contractor to help get her doggy daycare vision off the ground when a neighbor tagged one they knew on her Facebook page.
He seemed like he knew what he was talking about. I asked him if he was bonded and insured. He told me yes. I guess the excitement of everything just had me caught up in the moment.
She says there was no contract, and the contractor quoted her $40,000, a third of which he wanted up front. Hebblethwaite says he started on the floors, but then the project ran into some red tape, a hurdle she says the contractor promised he would clear.
A couple weeks went by and I'm like, hey, have you heard anything? I really want to get this going. And he's like, oh no, it takes a while.
With the on-site work on hold, Hebblethwaite says the contractor promised to build her kennels at home and install them once the hold was over. Meantime, she says he kept asking for more money for labor and supplies. And when she wanted progress reports,
every week it was something else. He had appendicitis, his son was in the hospital, he was back in the hospital. He went to Florida and lost his wallet. It was just, the excuses were crazy. And after a while, I was just like, listen, are you taking my money?
That's when she says he got defensive, offered to meet up and return her money and supplies, but never showed. She says she started searching his name online and found a prior mugshot for charges of taking money, but not doing any work.
I knew right then I got robbed.
There are so many people that have that itch, especially through the pandemic, to become an entrepreneur. And they don't have the knowledge.
Tom Bartholomew with the Better Business Bureau says Hebblethwaite's story is an important reminder to vet and verify, even in a tight labor market when it's tempting to loosen standards to get a job done. Bartholomew says a quick search found the contractor in question has no license, highlighting what he says is a little-known fact about North Carolina law.
In North Carolina, you don't have to have a license unless you're doing jobs that are more than $30,000. Or you're in a specific trade like electrician or plumber, something like that.
Attorney Gary Monty says Hebblethwaite's case throws up several red flags for him.
If somebody does act offended when you're asking basic questions, that should be a hint to you that you don't need to be doing business with them.
And the lack of contract, he says, could also make it harder to pursue the case in court.
It could be a piece of yellow notebook paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With what's the date, what's supposed to be done, how much are we going to pay each other, and then signatures at the bottom of the page. I cannot tell you how valuable that would be and how much money that might save you in the future.
A lesson hard learned for Hebblethwaite, whose eagerness to finally get going almost landed her dreams in the doghouse.
Just really do your research on people. Just a quick Google of somebody's name could save you literally thousands of dollars at the end.
Now, Bartholomew also says it is crucial budding business owners educate themselves on the ins and outs of legal dealings as much as possible. That's because he says many protective laws in North Carolina cover consumers, but not business owners. And that's because business owners are assumed by the system to be more savvy than the average consumer. Now, we chose not to name the contractor since Hebblethwaite says police have not pursued charges at that time. She's still going to try to see what will happen on that front. She's also saying that she's in the process of vetting out a lawsuit against him. We did try to email the contractor in question. I called him on his cell phone. He did not respond. So we will continue to push for answers on that front. But we do have some more tips meantime on protecting yourself. on our website, including a link to that database we showed you in that story to search for contractor licenses.